All right, we're not gonna toy with your emotions anymore. We're back at Disneyland Paris. And this time, it's for the 25th anniversary. Which, at the time that I'm filming this, is actually officially happening tomorrow. Crazy, unbelievable to think that Euro Disneyland, now Disneyland Paris, has been here for 25 years. And I've been coming for 2.5 of them. So I've been here for 1%. Oh wait, that's 10%. I'm bad at math. And this is Allie's first time. Oh, it's good to be back. I love this park. Everything here is so weirdly different, yet similar to our own Disney parks. Look at, it's a Keystone Cop style police car. It's so close to the Magic Kingdom's Main Street. You almost feel like you're in Florida until you look down the road. The brick road, by the way. And would you look at that castle. Now every Magic Kingdom park is my favorite while I'm in it. So when I'm in Disneyland, I'm like, oh, Disneyland's my favorite. When I'm at Florida and Disney World and Magic Kingdom, I'm like, oh, Magic Kingdom's my favorite. And of course, since I'm standing here, Paris is my favorite. But I'm pretty sure that that's my favorite Disney castle 100% of the time. And I think, at least at the moment, this is my favorite Main Street. Look at that piping hot cup of coffee. Look at the Main Street Auto Garage with the gas pump. And whose car is that in there? Cruella de Vil? There's so much detail here. Look at this. I think Allie is considering a new career as a Coke delivery driver. But wait a minute, Allie. No need to switch careers. If you're really looking for a job, why not work here? At Dapper Dan's Haircuts. Look at that. They've got some mustache mirrors. Ooh. Mustache Alley. Tim Tracker? Cool, freaky. Look at that guy in there, giving this guy a neck shave and a haircut. 2 bits. And look at all these wonderful people coming into the park. It's magical out here, I tell you, magical. Main Street at Disneyland Paris feels so lived in. You don't see any for rent signs out here, do you, Allie? Dang it. I haven't been this excited since the 60th anniversary of Disneyland. There's a similar spirit in the air. People out here seem very excited about this anniversary. And who can blame them? This place was not very popular when it first opened. Who would have imagined that Euro Disneyland has lasted 25 years? What do you think of it so far?
It's so pretty.
Oh, pretty. It definitely is. I've always thought that Disneyland Paris was the most beautiful Disney park, but it's really only now that I realize I've only really seen this place in the winter. This is like well and truly spring. I think next weekend is Easter. The 25th anniversary is in full swing and there are actually leaves on all the trees. I gotta tell you, it really adds to the effect. Well, the trees and flowers may be beautiful, but the most beautiful thing here is that castle. Look at it, Allie. It's so beautiful. It's so magical.
It's so pink.
It's gorgeous. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, feast your eyes on Le Chateau de Bois Dormant. I'm bad at pronouncing French, but basically, Sleeping Beauty's castle. Although I think the literal translation has something to do with a forest and a lady in the forest just hanging out in the forest. Lady hanging out in the forest. Chateau. Well, what do you think?
I love it. It's so pretty.
Right? It's beautiful! Disneyland definitely wins the cutest castle. Walt Disney World definitely has the mightiest castle. But Disneyland Paris has the most beautiful castle.
Right? I think it's the prettiest castle I've ever seen.
Yeah. And just wait, if you think the outside's good, you should see the inside. Oh look, I just noticed it's sparkling all over. You guys see that? See those little sparkles all over the castle? That is a pretty cool effect. Just make our way across the drawbridge here. Into the castle. Oh, would you look at that? Le Chateau est belle. It's so beautiful down here. I love that there are actually shops inside the castle itself. Look at this mantle. I never noticed this before with all the little forest creatures. Look, Allie, it's your friends. So many details, and I love how this castle really makes you feel like you're in the world of Sleeping Beauty. Look at those two kings right there. Chums forever. This castle has it all. Christmas shop, hallways, the most beautiful roof ever. Oh yeah, and what castle would be complete without a wizard? No castle, that's why there's Merlin's shop right over here. Welcome to the home of Merlin, the enchanter. Merlin's into some really weird stuff. He creates things of beauty, but he's also into things of terror. Oh, I never noticed this before. That lamp right there is Merlin's hat. And check this out, Allie. Look down there.
What's that noise?
That noise is the best part of the castle. Come on, come with me. I almost forgot that the first thing one must do when visiting Disneyland Paris is pay our respects to the dragon. Come on, Ellie. Down here in the cave. Don't be scared. I mean, it's okay to be a little scared. Right? Just a little further. Look at it. The mighty beast. Careful, guys. We don't want to wake it up. People are using an awful lot of flash photography in here. They're going to anger him. Uh-oh. He's moving. Or she's moving. It's... The beast has been angered. Then a nice dragon. It's okay. We'll feed you a child later. Just go back to sleep. That's it. Back to sleep. We're not really going to do it. Don't worry. Give him a cookie. Shake like a child. That's it. Back to sleep. Back to sleep. No killing. No mauling.
Oh, that's a good dragon.
Basically just like our kitten at home. Oh my goodness gracious. How freaking sick is that? There's a dragon under the castle. A freaking gigantic dragon. Also waterfalls and walkways and shops in there. This is one mighty impressive fortification. Like, just look at how elaborate all this is. So many nooks. So many crannies. Oh yeah, I forgot there's another really cool part to this castle. You can actually go upstairs. Look at all of this out. Stained glass windows and tapestries and storybooks, even spinning wheels. All telling the story of Sleeping Beauty, which is all pretty cool, but even Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather couldn't have prepared me for the first time that I saw what was out this door. At Disneyland Paris, you can actually come outside and hang out on the balcony of the castle. Look at this. The most beautiful bird's eye view of Fantasyland. Dude, upstairs behind the castle. How rad is that? Right?
It's awesome.
Dude, isn't that amazing? Doesn't it make you feel like a princess?
Yes.
It makes me feel the same way. What are you doing?
Being a princess.
Oh, I thought you.
What to do.
I thought you were counting. Ooh, a little chilly up there. We'll just run downstairs really quick. Whoa, I almost fell. Oh, this is awesome. Sortie! Anyway, Allie and I are here at Disneyland Paris for a couple of days, which means we'll have plenty of time to explore Fantasyland. I am really genuinely excited to be back at Disneyland Paris, even with the long lines and relatively large crowds for the 25th anniversary here. It is quite a relief from the insane crowds at home in California at Disneyland for like the past year. Like, look at that. Allie, you could actually swing your elbows around.
I know.
Look at that. Look at that. Space. Space to dance and dance and dance. Now, Allie and I cheated and actually came into the park and got a tiny little peek at the hub and the castle last night, but she's never laid her eyes on this. It's finally time for Allie to discover the wonders of Discoveryland. Okay, open your eyes. Look at that. Well, what do you think of that?
I'm speechless.
Speechless. That's right, friends. There's no Tomorrowland here. At Disneyland Paris, you've got your Fantasyland, you've got your Adventureland, your Frontierland, and your Discoveryland. Discoveryland is basically a page straight out of Jules Verne. Look at that back there. See that giant airship? You could go around the world in 80 days pretty quickly in that thing. Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. You can't go around the world in 80 days pretty quickly. You're doing it in 80 days. It's pretty locked in there. That was my bad. And look at this. Le Buzz Lightyear. Very, very popular in France. And I mean very popular. Check this out. This should look familiar to you. Disneyland fans know it as the Astro Orbiter, but here in France, the original is known as the Orbitron, and it makes a lot more sense when you see it in its original French steampunk context. Doesn't that thing look like 10 times better here when you see it with all of this? Pretty crazy. In 1998, they built one of these for Disneyland, and they even tried to paint our Space Mountain gold like the one here. Did not have quite the same impact. I was actually super looking forward to riding Space Mountain this time. But as you can see, Space Mountain Mission 2 is down right now because it's in the process of becoming Hyperspace Mountain. I gotta tell you, this is the craziest Space Mountain of them all. It's a lot brighter in there, and there's giant like planetoid props and stuff, so I'm actually kind of excited to see how it becomes hyperspace, but I'm sorry you won't get to ride it. We will, however, hopefully get to ride the cutest Autopia of them all. And maybe tomorrow, we can even venture under the sea inside of Captain Nemo's Nautilus. What I tell you about the Jules Verne stuff, huh? French people love that Jules Verne. Dang, how do they get the water so clear like that? If it wasn't frickin' freezing out here, I'd be really tempted to swim in that. I don't know if their version of Hyperspace Mountain is gonna be temporary or they're planning on it being permanent or what. But it's pretty interesting that a Star Wars ride is going inside this very steampunk looking building. Star Wars is nothing new here though, of course. Underneath that airship is the entrance to the Videopolis, which is a huge theater where, like at other Disney theme parks, you can come and watch the Path of the Jedi. It's pretty mighty. Would you look at the size of this theater? Actually, the last time I was at Disneyland Paris, the very last day, the very last night, the very last seconds that I was in the park were spent partially in this room, and I stayed here those extra days because of Star Wars. Because the last time that I stood right here, it was for the official closing ceremonies of Star Tours, the original 2D 80s Star Tours with Captain Rex. But boy, things have changed out here. For one, the X-Wing used to be over here on top of a pole. Now there's an X-Wing landed up on top of that little space station, which was more like an antenna, but now it's a little starport there, and instead of there being a store inside, it looks like this has become the meet and greet spot for Darth Vader. Then of course they totally upgraded Star Tours. They made it the 3D version, you know, with the whole screen and the different and the C-3PO, not the old Pee Wee Herman guy. Oh yeah, some pretty big changes out here. I could exaggerate and say that I was on the very last flight to Endor, but I wasn't. I was probably on the third to last flight for Endor. They had special media-only tickets for the very last flight. But I was still here with a handful of special invited guests and very lucky people standing right over there watching the destruction of the original. The old version of this ride, at the exit, there was the most awkward, weird 1990s arcade right at the exit to the ride, but it looks like now this is the new gift shop. Sick. Allie, I just saw you open that door with your force powers. Whoa. Oh yeah, this is way, way better. This is completely different. I have never seen anything themed so well. Bravo, Disney. Look at that, you can see the back of the Star Speeder. There's a droid up there on a catwalk. I swear, before in here was like awkward 90s air hockey games and like weird broken stuff. This is an insane transformation. I'm totally blown away by this. Think about it. This is the newest Star Wars themed area until they come out with Star Wars Land. And if this is any kind of sneak preview, Star Wars Land is going to look pretty freaking mighty. I have to tell you, I am very, very impressed. Last time I was here, I was so sad that the last piece of my childhood, the last piece of 80s Star Wars anywhere, was going away. But this is a nice compromise. The colors and everything feel very, very Star Wars-y. I'm happy with this. Uh-oh. Allie sees a treat. Look at that candy apple. Little silver stars. You went for the blue, huh?
That's their anniversary color.
Went with the anniversary theme. Okay, what's next? I cannot get enough of that castle. This is the greatest thing ever. Oh, bonjour, prettiest castle. It's nice to finally bring the prettiest girl in the world to see the prettiest Disney castle in the world. Well, we've got a lot of stuff to see this week, and I have to try to remember to keep the videos as short as possible because the internet connection in the hotel in France is no bueno. That's French, right? Probably. But we're gonna see more of the castle. Have some adventures in Adventureland. Seriously though, how cool looking is that Adventureland, right? And let's not forget exploring new frontiers in Frontierland. The other 2 times that I came to Paris, almost everything in Frontierland was under construction. So really, it's not just her first time, but my first time too, seeing all of this. Space Mountain may be closed, but Big Thunder Mountain is finally open. And there's a weird Big Thunder French bug on me, Allie. Allie, there's a bug on me. Les bug. Ah, ah. Oh my gosh. What does it want? Blood? Les blood. Oh, there it goes. Trust me, little bug, it's better this way. Sorry, she didn't know I already had a girlfriend. Yeah, look at all of that. The Rivers of America is open. At least I think it's called the Rivers of America. I don't know, I've never seen it before. Maybe it's Les Rivers de France. Finally, I can see Phantom Manor, built by the mine owner. Looking out over the mines themselves. See Big Thunder rolling along, and of course, the Molly Brown Riverboat. This is amazing. I almost feel like I've never been here before because I've never seen this place like this. Oh, I already love Disneyland Paris, but this seals the deal. Look at that, the Molly Brown. I know they were supposed to have the Molly Brown and the Mark Twain here. I don't know whatever happened to the Mark Twain, but both the unsinkable Molly Brown and Mark Twain grew up in Hannibal, Missouri, which is one of my favorite places on the world, so this is legit. Dude, how sick is this? Look at that. Remember when we saw that 4th Ward schoolhouse in Virginia City that that's based on? Awesome. Of course, no one ever believes that. You're just probably thinking Norman Bates too, right? Right. You know, that Big Thunder there looks like a lot of fun. What do you think? Yeah. All right, guys, we're keeping it short and sweet. Like I said, internet connection, very hard to upload from France. I think now Allie and I are gonna go ride Big Thunder for the first time. And we'll see you all a little later. Bye-bye. This is a mighty fine frontier, which makes me realize, do you know where we are, Allie? You know where I'm going with this? We're in France. Oh. Just France.